7 quiet signs of an elderly person's final year. Have you ever noticed tiny changes in someone you love, maybe your grandparent or parent, that leave you with a strange, uneasy feeling? We often think old age ends suddenly, like a light switching off. But the truth is, the body sends quiet signals long before the end, sometimes a whole year ahead. These signs are so subtle, they're easy to miss, easy to brush off as just getting older. It's only when we look back that we realize the clues were there all along. But by then, the chance to prepare, to cherish them, has slipped away. Today, I'll share 7 quiet signs the body gives, like soft whispers of what's to come. Understanding them can help you care better and make the most of the time you have left with someone dear. Let's listen together. 1. The body gets lighter, like a falling leaf. One day, you might notice your grandma doesn't eat much anymore. A full plate turns into a few bites, and she smiles. "I'm full already." Her favorite pants hang loose, needing an extra notch on the belt. At first, you think it's just old age dulling her appetite. But when the weight keeps dropping without any reason, no diet, no exercise, it's time to pay attention. Her body is getting lighter, like a leaf drifting from a tree. Not because of a storm, but because its time has come. This isn't just about eating less. Her body isn't taking in nutrients the way it used to. Her stomach weakens, digestion slows, and the muscles that once held her strong start to fade. Scientists say this can happen naturally as we age, but when it speeds up, something deeper is at work. Maybe a hidden illness like cancer or kidney trouble is quietly draining her. Or maybe her metabolism has slowed so much that her brain doesn't shout hungry anymore. You might see her skip meals, barely touching the food she once loved. The cake she used to crave sits half-eaten. Families often try hard. "Please eat more, Grandma." But if the weight still falls even with favorite dishes or protein shakes, it's not about the menu. Her body is stepping back, preparing for something new. She gets weaker, more likely to stumble, and colds hit her harder. I once knew an aunt who lost weight so fast we didn't think much of it. Only later, after she was gone, did we see it was the first sign. Looking back, I wish I'd known, not to force her to eat, but to sit with her, talk more, make those last meals peaceful. If you see someone you love getting thinner, don't ignore it. Offer soft, easy foods, a warm bowl of soup, a small glass of milk, and keep them hydrated. It's not about the pounds now. It's about comfort. Her body is whispering it's on a new path, and you can help her walk it gently. Number 2, tiredness, like a wind that stops blowing. One morning, your grandpa, who used to potter in the garden, sits still and sighs. "I'm too tired today." You figure a nap will fix it, but the tiredness lingers. It sticks around, making simple things like getting out of a chair or holding a cup feel like climbing a hill. He dozes off mid-story, eyes closing as if pulled shut. This isn't laziness or him giving up. His body is saving energy, like a wind that once blew strong, now barely rustles the leaves. This exhaustion comes from inside. His heart beats softer, not pushing blood around like it used to. Less blood means less oxygen for his muscles and brain. Experts say as we age, our circulation weakens, but near the end it slows down fast. He can't manage the things he once did, fixing a bike, walking the dog. Instead, he naps more, sometimes sleeping most of the day. Families don't always get it. "Come on, Grandpa, get up and move!" But that doesn't help. His body is shifting, focusing on keeping his heart and lungs going rather than powering his legs. I remember visiting my grandma once and finding her slumped in a chair, a book in her lap she couldn't turn a page of. She said, "I'm not sleepy, just can't do anything." I thought she was being stubborn, but now I know. Her body was holding on to what little strength it had. This tiredness changes him too. He might snap because he can't do what he wants, or he might go quiet, skipping the old stories he used to tell with a grin. It's hard for families to watch him fade, but don't blame him. Let him rest. Chat softly when he's awake. A gentle touch or asking, "Want to listen to some music?" can mean a lot. If someone you love feels this deep, endless tired, don't push them to snap out of it. Prop up a pillow, crack a window for fresh air. They're saving strength for their last days, and you're keeping them wrapped in care. Mub 3. The mind wanders in a fog. One afternoon, you ask your mom about a memory, maybe a trip to the lake when you were little, and she hesitates, then laughs. "I don't remember that." Stories she used to tell perfectly get fuzzy. She mixes up names or asks the same thing 3 times. You chalk it up to old age forgetfulness. But when she forgets the way home or sits staring at nothing, it's more than that. Her mind is wandering, lost in a fog she can't shake. This confusion has a reason. Blood and oxygen aren't reaching her brain like they should. Doctors say when circulation slows, the brain struggles, especially near the end. She might recall a day from 50 years ago, but not know it's Tuesday. Sometimes she looks at you blankly, then suddenly lights up, chatting like nothing's wrong, but those clear moments fade. I saw this with my granddad. He'd ask, "Did the little one go to school yet?" Even though I'd grown up years ago. We laughed it off at first, but when he kept repeating it daily, then sat gazing out the window in silence, we knew something was off. He wasn't forgetting on purpose. His brain was winding down, unable to keep up. She might pull away too. The TV annoys her, talks with neighbors tire her out. She sits alone, maybe snapping if bothered or just going quiet like she's not really there. It's not that she doesn't love you. Her mind can't handle the noise anymore. Don't drag her back with too many questions or forced chats. Speak softly, "I'm here, Mom." Play an old song she liked or sit beside her quietly. Her mind might drift, but your love still reaches her. If someone you care about seems lost or distant, be patient. They're getting ready to let go, and you're holding them with peace. 4. The body stops being a shield. Once, a cold was no big deal for your grandpa. A few days, and he'd bounce back. Now a tiny scratch on his hand stays red and raw. A mild fever drags on, then he's coughing hard, and the doctor says pneumonia. Next comes a urinary infection. Little things turn into big fights. His immune system, like an old soldier, can't hold the line anymore. There's a reason for this. As we age, our defenses weaken, but near the end, they almost give up. Blood moves slower, not carrying enough fighters to battle germs. A cut festers. A cough turns serious. I recall my grandma getting a small sore on her leg. We thought it'd heal, but it grew, needing strong medicine. We didn't know then it was her body tiring out. These illnesses stick around. Antibiotics that used to work fast barely help now, and infections keep coming back. Oddly, he might not even run a fever, just get more tired, eat less, or seem dazed. Experts say in older folks, infections can hide, quietly wearing them down. Families panic, rushing him to doctors. "We've got to fix this." But sometimes that just exhausts him more. I had an uncle who kept getting sick. Every hospital trip left him weaker. Later, we learned keeping him clean and cozy mattered more than endless pills. Wash cuts well. Keep his skin soft to avoid sores. Small things make a big difference. If someone you love gets sick often or heals slowly, don't brush it off. Watch for sneaky signs. Extra tiredness, a stubborn red spot. Their body isn't a shield anymore, and your gentle care can shield them instead. But 5. Breathing like a distant wave. One night you hear your grandma breathing oddly. Fast, then slow, sometimes pausing for a heartbeat. Her hands feel icy even on a warm day, her lips pale, fingertips tinged blue. She gasps after standing up, catching her breath like it's slipping away. Her breathing is like a distant wave, rising and falling, telling you the shore is near. This comes from her heart and lungs. Her heart pumps softer, not sending blood far. Her hands and feet cool as blood stays near her core. Her lungs don't swap oxygen well, so breaths get shallow. There's even a pattern doctors call chain Stokes, deep breaths mixed with long pauses, a sign the end is close. I sat with my granddad once, hearing him breathe like that. It scared me, thinking he'd stop, but it was just his body slowing down. She might struggle with little moves, sitting up, saying a sentence. You hear a rattle in her chest, maybe fluid building up. She props pillows high or leans to one side, flat being too hard. Families get frightened. What do we do? But don't panic. Open a window, turn on a fan, add moisture to the air. I knew someone whose mom loved sitting by an open door, feeling the breeze, saying little. They got her oxygen later, but she cherished quiet and a warm hand most. If someone you love breathes hard or feels cold, don't urge, breathe deeper. Keep them comfy, give them calm. It's their last wave, and you can ease them through. 6. Skin tells a story of time. One day you notice your grandpa's skin isn't rosy anymore. It's pale, rough, with purple or brown patches. A light bump leaves a bruise that lingers for weeks. His skin thins out, like old paper, tearing easily and losing its glow. This isn't just aging, It's his body's story winding down. Skin shows what's inside. When blood flows slow, it doesn't bring enough oxygen or food to the surface, leaving it pale and weak. Experts say as we age, skin thins and blood vessels fragile up, but near the end, it's stark. My grandma had bruises on her arms we couldn't explain. Later, we learned her blood wasn't moving well. He might itch or his skin cracks dry. Sores pop up, especially on legs or back if he rests a lot, and they don't heal. These bed sores come when the body can't fix itself. We had to turn my uncle often to stop them, but some still crept in. Skin doesn't just look worn, it stops guarding him from trouble. Families try lotions, hoping for pink cheeks again, but it's more about keeping it clean and soft. A dab of cream, a light blanket can soothe him. If someone's skin fades, bruises easy, or dries out, don't think it's nothing. It's their body slowing, and your small touches can wrap them in care. 7. Sleep stretches like a long sunset. One visit, you find your mom asleep from morning to afternoon. She wakes briefly, eyes hazy, then drifts off again. Even awake, she's quiet, barely speaking, like sleep still holds her. She used to rise early, bustling about, but now sleep stretches long like a sunset that won't fade. This isn't regular rest. Near the end, her brain and body slow way down. She doesn't need energy to be busy, so she sleeps more, sometimes all day. Scientists say it's her system saving what's left, letting go of what's not vital. My granddad slept 18 hours once, waking just for soup, then back to dreaming. We worried, but it was him getting ready to leave. She might mumble half thoughts when awake, talking of people long gone like they're near. Don't be alarmed. Her mind floats between here and there. Families try waking her. Mom, eat something, but pushing tires her out. Let her sleep when she needs, keep the room still and sit close when she stirs. A stroke of her hair, a hummed tune is plenty. If someone you love sleeps endlessly, don't call it lazy. It's their sunset stretching, and you can help them rest in peace. So there they are, a lighter body, endless tiredness, a foggy mind, a weaker shield, changing breaths, storytelling skin, and long sleep. These 7 signs whisper that someone you love is nearing their final year. Don't be afraid or fight it. Listen to their body, bring them comfort, and make their last days beautiful. You're not just caring, you're giving them love to carry along. What do you think of these signs? Tell me, what touches you most? I'm here listening.